Hey everybody, I hope everybody's doing well on this wonderful day, y'all. What a wonderful day. We are blessed to be alive. We are blessed to be above the ground. One thing I like to remind everybody is as long as you've opened your eyes, no matter what traumas or dramas, lie ahead of you or you've experienced even the day before, no matter what you're going through, y'all, as long when you open your eyes, consider it a blessing, okay? Consider it a blessing. I say this all the time. So many people fell asleep in death and may not have been able to accomplish things that they thought that they were going to arise today and do. So be grateful, okay? Always show thanks and give that expression of thanks to the Most High God for waking us up, okay? He is very merciful and he gives us plenty of time to get things in order, okay? I hope you guys got you some good sleep last night and you are up feeling better than you did the day before, okay? Remember, we need rest. We need it for rejuvenation purposes. We need to be more alert, more attentive, and being able to knock out the day's challenges. And one of the things that hold us back is if we get lack of rest, because it tends to make us lag in certain areas and it can cause us to get agitated, even aggravated really fast, because we're just not well rested, okay? And it happens to even some of the best of us. So don't feel some type of a way. Just try to get you some good sleep, okay? Try to get some good sleep where you're winding down, you're drifting off into sleep, and that way it's beneficial, okay? These cat naps and 2 and 3 hours rest aren't proper. It's just not a proper increment. In other words, it's not enough. Okay. The more rest you get, the better that you'll feel. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about ways to recover from betrayal. And this could be from a friend, a lover, a colleague, a family member. Many of us have been at some point in time in our life betrayed. And is something that can be quite traumatizing, especially if you're trying to heal through it without God, okay? Because some things can truly hit us to our core, honey, and it can drop you to your knees, especially when, the facts of that betrayal or you're finding out this, you're finding out that, it can truly hurt you and it can truly hurt your spirit. So it's best to reach out to God, even more in those instances so that he can carry you through, okay? Because if you've ever experienced betrayal, you could even possibly feel heartsick. I remember hearing somebody referencing that before, and you can find it difficult to even complete small things, small tasks that need to be done, but you're just feeling so heartsick and beat down due to betrayal. And as you begin to realize the totality of the betrayal, it's not unusual to get emotionally paralyzed, and you may even get to a point where you're unable to begin thinking about your next steps. Betrayal hits hard, y'all, and it requires a different approach, okay? It requires a different approach to healing because it impacts us emotionally, spiritually, and even physically, okay? So there's so many things that we can consider to help us heal through betrayal, okay? First and foremost, you have to understand that it's an issue of trust. We need to understand that betrayal is definitely an issue of trust. And no matter what the circumstances, or should I say, no matter what circumstances led to the incident of betrayal, beneath the drama lies trust. Okay. What often happens is that you felt you could trust the person. Normally, you're betrayed by somebody who you put all of your eggs into that basket, and for whatever reason they betrayed you, and it can cut mighty deep, okay? So you expected this person to have your best interest at heart. You thought that you could truly trust them, and they turn around and go do some foul stuff. That's a blow there, okay? Trust is shattered. It's not unusual for you to think about other times. You're going to think about all different kinds of situations where it's like, well, dang, what about this time and what about that? It can send you in a downward spiral. It truly can, if you allow it to overpower you. Okay, and again, it impacts you at all different levels, okay? Mind, body, soul. But I want y'all to understand today that you just need to go ahead and forgive yourself, okay? Because when betrayal happens, the person who betrays, the person betrayed, a lot of times, y'all, you blame yourself. You blame yourself for even getting involved in the situation or connecting with that person in the first place. That's the wrong mindset to have. It has nothing to do with you. We have free will, we have choices. And just like we have choices, those choices come with consequences. So don't blame yourself for being involved with somebody who in turn betrayed you. We reap exactly what we sow. Again, it doesn't matter the relationship, friend, family, lover, spouse, colleague. It truly doesn't matter. We reap what you sow. And a lot of times when it's an issue with infidelity, I'm gonna tell you right now, you up and betray somebody, especially a love interest, you cheat and all of that. A lot of times, whoever you are moving towards, you're gonna get it back, or it's just not gonna be fulfilling as you thought. A lot of times, I'm telling you, Satan is good at what he does. He'll put all kind of stuff into your mind to cause you to betray somebody. And although individuals in those instances aren't quick to admit it, there are times when people will sit you down and admit, I was wrong for this. I should have never done that. But it still doesn't undo the deed that has been done. Okay. You shouldn't feel like, or feel the need to say, I knew better than to talk to them or to be with them, or, think when you think back on it, think of how many times you may find yourself saying, I was warned not to even get involved with them, but I did it anyway. You're blaming yourself, honey. That has nothing to do with you. Okay. I'm going to tell you what happens is when we go against our better judgment or override the gut feeling, which I'm telling you from experience, don't override that gut feeling. Do not override that gut feeling. That gut feeling will be screaming at you, baby. And I mean screaming. That gut will be doing all kind of somersaults, okay? And you're brushing it off. So when we go against our better judgment or we override those gut feelings, y'all, it leaves us feeling emotionally depleted. That's what happens. That's what you're going through. You get to a point where you're feeling emotionally depleted. One of the ways to recover, y'all, is to start the process of forgiving yourself. You will never bounce back and move forward until you forgive yourself. Okay? And if you can't forgive yourself entirely, start to let yourself off the hook sometimes. But it truly starts with forgiveness. Depending on the severity of the betrayal and how it was discovered, the body can actually process this as a traumatic event. And if that happens, it means that betrayal can cause an unpleasant physical response, y'all. You'll start to have these headaches, muscle tensions, you're nauseated, you can't even really sleep. Because your body is processing that betrayal as a traumatic event, especially when you were loyal, faithful to whatever or whomever it was. Okay. Those signs with those headaches, muscle tensions, and all of that, your body is under duress. And I'm going to tell you something, even the betrayer, if they feel an ounce, even just a small, minute amount of regret, they will even go through that as well. They will even have, these random headaches. You're always needing something for a headache. You're having muscle tensions. You can't really sleep because you're under duress as well, especially when you betrayed someone who did not deserve it. God has a way. God has a way, y'all, of even in cases where you are the betrayer, you're going to feel it as well. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel some of what the person you betrayed had to deal with. And it's going to be unpleasant. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not going to be pleasant. We have to learn to look at betrayal as an actual loss, okay? Because due to the complexities, y'all, of betrayal, it can almost feel like death. It could literally almost feel like death. Let me give you an example. Let's say the end of a friendship or a job. It feels like your world has literally been torn apart. So it's basically unnatural for your body and mind to basically begin the stages of grief because your foundation has been shattered. Betrayal hits hard, y'all. You can feel a loss of identity if you're no longer in the if you're no longer the partner in that relationship, whatever the relationship may be. These are losses, y'all, and addressing them as such will help you better your emotions and feelings. And I always say that we need to go to God, because you're gonna need a different form of healing, baby. You are not gonna get through an ultimate betrayal by yourself. You're not. It can break you down. It can put you in a place of stagnation. You don't want to move forward. You're not carrying out responsibilities and duties because of the hurt from a betrayal. Okay. Some of us get betrayed when you're already being overwhelmed by what's going on in life. I'm going to tell you, when you already have things going on in life surrounding you, and then someone comes through and they betray you, baby, especially if it's in a relationship, it does no good to ask them why, because a lot of times you won't even really get an answer. A lot of times you'll start to notice a changed behavior, but you can't even get excited about that. You literally only time. But that's why we do well to focus on God, so that you're not even focusing on the betrayer, or whether or not they are sincerely apologetic about what they've done. I hold firm to the slogan that, sometimes people are apologetic because you found out. What would have happened otherwise? What would have happened if I never would have found out? Discernment is so powerful, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all right now, God will show you exactly what went on. I'm going to tell you. And when God shows you exactly what's going on, honey, you can, man, y'all, listen to me. When God shows you what went on, it can literally bring you to your knees. That's why when we pray for God to show us certain things, we need to make sure we're also praying for God to help us through it, help us to accept it, help us, give us the strength and the courage to continue on in life. Because 9 times out of 10, we have others either dependent on us, or you just have others who love you in general. And of course, it's about self. There's a lesson that you can take away or learn from something like that, because whenever a betrayal happens, what remains is an opportunity for deep personal growth. You're going to take it and go one way or another. You're going to become bitter. You're going to lash out. You're going to just go about it in the wrong way, or you're going to take it and use it as an opportunity for deep personal growth, honey, for a transformation to begin. Do you hear me? You got to be willing to open yourself up to the possibility that there is a lesson there. I'm going to tell you, it is so critical, y'all, to drop the defense mechanisms such as blame, guilt. I'm telling you, because as long as you're pointing a finger at the other person or yourself, it's going to impede your ability to learn, to heal, and to move forward. Betrayal cuts deep. And of course you want to blame. Yeah, of course you do. You were betrayed. But it's only going to hinder you. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to go through the stage and the phases. You're going to. But I'm going to tell you, y'all, pray to God, because it literally is going to hinder you, which in some cases is exactly what your betrayer would like. It's wicked out here, y'all. The lesson could have been for you to just trust your gut and not override your first impression. First impression is a lot. If you don't have the spirit of discernment, that first impression can swoop you off your feet. You didn't have discernment. You were so busy being impressed that you overrode your gut instinct. You have to think sometimes. That's why I tell y'all, it takes some strength, y'all, to be on the opposite end. I'm not going to help somebody betray their spouse, betray their coworker, their friend, their family, because sometimes people have accomplices to help you betray. And if it's an infidelity issue, the person you're messing around with, they helped you betray, or should I say they helped your loved one betray you. Yeah, that's a different kind of pain, y'all. That is a different kind of pain. Another lesson could be that there are kind people in the world who support you, even when you feel like your world is crumbling down. Even if you choose to forgive your betrayer, y'all, don't forget the lesson. Okay? I'm going to tell you, just try your best, do whatever you have to do so that you do not forget. Or should I say, yeah, so you don't forget the lesson. Yeah, betrayal will feel like your world is just completely falling apart. I want y'all to know today that healing is possible, and building healthy emotional skills will help you plan for the next steps that you have to take in life. Pray to God about it. Ask God to help you order your steps. It is not easy. But I'm going to tell you right now, honey, it is possible, but you can't do it alone. You're waddling in what's going on because you're trying to do it by yourself. You're hurting by yourself. You don't have to hurt alone. That's not how God intended for that to be. You got to sit around here and deal with the hurt and the backlashes and all of that by yourself. You don't have to do that alone. Our Heavenly Father saw it as well, and He wants to help you. This is a very traumatic event, y'all, no matter who the betrayal was by. Whether you discover, especially let's say it's a partner, because that happens too often these days, whether you discover that they had an emotional affair, online affair, physical affair, engaged in compulsive sexual behavior, addictions, then lied about it, claim people are friends. Let me tell you something. You're going to go through, baby, you're going to go through some stuff. You're going to go through shock and devastation. Everything you thought you knew about that person is now called into question. Who are you? I thought I knew you. How could I have not known that? What do I do now? How can I possibly ever love you or trust you again? I'm telling you, even your sense of being able to trust yourself and your own instincts and sense of reality will be turned upside down. Things will start to feel unreal. You'll find yourself crying, feeling depressed or anxious. You'll even panic, or you'll have a panic attack. Sometimes you'll not be able to eat or sleep, especially in those beginning stages. You got to go to God. You got to go to God. I'm going to tell y'all right now, even in the midst of being betrayed, you can continuously glow the you know what up. But what you got to do is you got to let God help you. Know that those reactions are normal and that the phase is not going to last. Listen, y'all, that phase will not last forever. You will survive. You can get through this one day at a time with hope. I'm going to tell you now, the phase can last weeks, months, who knows? And it can be triggered at any point in time. And especially if you get to where you're learning new information about a betrayal. You'll get angry. The loss of that relationship or the tainting of it due to a betrayal as you knew it, it naturally actually prompts that emotional response from you. That's basically what it does. It prompts that emotion of anger. And then, and most times, y'all, the desire for revenge. You want to get back at them, don't you? I'm telling you, I know you do. You will likely have, you'll play it out in your mind. I can ruin you. You know what I'm saying? You'll have all these thoughts going on in your head. I can ruin you. I can tell everybody what you really did. I can do this. I can do that. You'll have all types of intense thoughts because you've been hurt, y'all. You've been betrayed. But I'm going to tell you right now, man, you may have, you may even want to seek revenge on people who knew about it. I'm going to tell y'all something. That's when I talk about these circles who really aren't your friends. Y'all, nowadays, you'll be being betrayed by somebody and everybody around them know it. And they'll protect them. They'll keep quiet and they'll enable them. I'm going to tell you right now, that's a testimony. I've been through that. But little do the people know who's known about it or protected them and all of that. They're going to get some of God's wrath too. You got to know who you're coming up against. Okay? You got to resist the urge to act on a lot of feelings, y'all. But when you're betrayed, revenge feels satisfying to you, because you've been hurt to a major extent. Okay? Man, it can go in so many ways, y'all. A lot of times when we speak out about betrayal, we feel bad. You feel bad, don't you, when you talk about it sometimes? A lot of times you'll regret outing your partner, your friend, or your loved one. Sometimes you'll find yourself regretting it because you'll have friends or family member who now are judging you or who are acting funny with you when you need it the most. You were betrayed. You were lied. You were hurt. I mean, you were lied to. You were hurt. And especially an ultimate betrayal, which, oh my gosh, y'all. let me tell you, you automatically have a desire um, um, to want to pump out details about the betrayal because it hurts so much. But the wrong people will cut ties with you, even when they know it's the truth. You know it's the truth, and they'll still act some type of a way. But I'm gonna tell you right now, speaking about what you go through is a healing mechanism. You heal how you see fit. Go to God first, though, y'all. Go to God first. Allow Him to order your steps and make sure you're not out of alignment. If you are out of alignment, don't worry. The word will transition you right back into where you need to be. Okay? You can't unsee stuff, you can't unhear things. And this flesh here, the flesh wants revenge now. Okay? Okay? Y'all know how it is. I'm sure many of us have been there before. Okay, you'll find yourself feeling grief stricken. You'll have difficulty feeling grounded. So much happens. It's almost like you feel like this loss of innocence. Once you realize that things were not as they seemed, and the person you thought you knew is exactly I'm sorry, and the person that you thought were one way. How do I want to say this? Once you realize that things were not as they seemed, and the person you thought you knew is not who you thought they were. Let me slow down and come out a little bit better. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Once a betrayal is discovered, you're gonna be forever changed. The person who betrayed you is gonna be forever changed as well, and that's just that. Okay, your sense of being able to trust again is going to be shaken. You'll start second guessing decisions because your feelings will literally be all over the place. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Your feelings will be all over the place. But let me tell y'all, this stage will pass also. It will gradually pass. Okay. So just try your best to find something else to focus on. Pray a lot more. You gotta pray, y'all. Okay. Some people never bounce back from a betrayal. I'm telling you. And those first stages, shock and anger and all of that, it can literally take over you if you're not careful. Okay. It's going to take some willpower. Okay. It's definitely going to take some willpower. But guess what? You got this. You can do it. You're not the first person to be betrayed. Okay. Sometimes a betrayer has a record or a history of doing such. So that's why you got to forgive yourself so you can move forward. They may possibly move forward and just go ahead and betray somebody else. That's normally how it goes. But take it to God because you never know. You never know how God may work something out. A lot of times a betrayer will come back and apologize. They'll want to, rectify things. They'll want to set matters straight. But how do you trust them? Especially depending on the depths of the betrayal. I told you, you'll begin to question everything. That's why you got to go to God. And if it's meant to be, you'll have to let God set that union up. Okay. Whether it's a friendship, your spouse, or a colleague, whatever the relationship may be. Okay. I'm gonna tell you, that triggering aspect, y'all, it can occur unexpectedly. Something could just happen. Seeing something or hearing a certain song on the radio, driving by a place you've been to before, all of that can really take you back down memory lane, and it can trigger you. Have you thinking back about the betrayal you've been through? Hold on, y'all. Let me step out of it. I was sitting in here in my baby's playroom, and he just came in here. I used to say, "Mommy, get out." Oh my gosh, y'all. And I was sitting on the floor. Baby, I went to get up. These bones said, pop, 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 pop. As much walking as I do. As much walking as I do, y'all. All right. I'm going to see how long I can stand out here on this balcony. It's hot. It's hot outside. Early as it is, it's hot. So let's see how long I can stand out here. But I'm actually going to wrap this up. Just a minute, y'all. Sorry, y'all, I had to mute out for a second. My my neighbors love me. So my neighbor was speaking. But yeah, yeah, there's so many different things that can happen that will trigger you and can have you reliving those moments of betrayal. Okay. And again, those emotions and feelings can come rushing back. Learn to pray, especially in those moments. Okay. With consistency, with of words, actions, and prayer over time and all of that, you will prevail. Okay. You will prevail. You're not alone. You're not doing this by yourself, and it is not your fault. Don't regret relationships that were formed, unions or whatnot. Don't do that. Okay. Because God is a way maker. There could be a lesson to be learned for you both. Okay. It truly, truly can. How crazy it may seem. Okay. But God can fix any situation. He can mend any situation, y'all. He can. And you have to understand that if he doesn't mend, if he doesn't renew, if he doesn't revive, trust and believe is your best interest. And in a lot of cases like that, again, a lot of times people, this is just a pattern and it was your turn to be betrayed. And now they're on to the next. That's a hard pill to swallow. But that betrayal could have positioned you and put you exactly where you needed to be. Exactly where you needed to be. So that you can grow into exactly what you should be and need to be, especially for God. Okay. So I just want any of y'all, all of y'all listening in today who's ever dealt with being betrayed, baby, by a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, family member, colleague, relative, whoever. I want y'all to understand that it's okay to feel the way that you're feeling, process those emotions. Anger, all of that is going to happen. But I want you to know that also it is going to pass. And if you lean on Jehovah entirely, one thing is for sure, it's going to pass a lot sooner than you believe. Now, no, you're still going to be hurt. That's not going to go away. But thinking about it, when God has his hand in healing you, those thoughts won't send you in a downward spiral. You'll be able to think about something and just shake your head like, that's still crazy, or dang, I still can't believe that happened. And you're going about your merry way. But if you're trying to heal through that betrayal by yourself, that's not how it's going to happen, baby. You're going to be beat down. You're going to be down and out. Okay. And a lot of times, y'all, you're not even able to necessarily cut ties with people who betrayed you. What if you have kids by this person? And what if they are your family member? Sometimes you'll still have to be in direct contact with people who have done something to you, who have betrayed you. So how do you cope in those instances? I'm telling you, you must fully rely on God. In those moments when you have to interact and be together and all of that, I promise you, things will go well. That's a testimony. When I talk about how God will tame the beast can be in anybody, in any situation. As long as you are aligning your life with God and what he says, and you are striving to be obedient, he will make things go well in your life. You hear me? In your life. I can't say what's going to happen for the other person, but he will give you peace. And again, if you are the betrayer, you betrayed somebody. You got to understand. You got to understand that there people you betrayed, they're not going to just easily forgive you. It doesn't work like that. They're not just going to overnight forget. They're not going to be so quick to trust you again. That's not how that operates. That's not how that operates. You need to allow people the time to heal. And if you truly are regretful, remorseful, and sorry, let your actions speak. But you can't get mad if the person you betrayed doesn't just accept them right away. Okay, you're gonna have to build. You have to rebuild a foundation after being betrayed, baby. Because I'm gonna tell you, the person. But when you've been betrayed, one of the things that can stick in your mind is the next time. Well, it can happen again. Especially if it's a situation where someone cheated. There's a million men and women in the world. Okay. So you have that in your mind. Well, okay, well, we give this another go. We forgive and this, that, and the third. Well, what happens this time? Betrayal has a major impact. I'm just going to say this and I'm going to close out. Try your best to just not betray anybody, y'all. For one, it is going to come back on you in a way you'll never imagine. You're going to give your all to somebody. Let's say that the situation isn't rectified and you move on in life. One of the various ways that it can come back is what you thought you were going to get is going to be snatched from you. I've watched that happen. Okay, so just be mindful, y'all, of how we treat people. Let's be adults. Let's talk about things. Let's hash things out, and let's have these uncomfortable conversations. We should never get to the point where we have to betray anybody. And I have a hard time even wrapping my mind around how you betray someone who loves, protects, and just does the absolute most. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just Shay, but I have a hard time even understanding. You know, I have a really hard time understanding how we even get into those positions, although I know now. Okay. When you're operating under the flesh, honey, no godly direction, you're going to do just what's that slogan, do as thy will. You're going to do exactly what you want, and you're not even thinking about the consequences or the repercussions. Because when that enemy spirit is surrounding you or within you, you don't have the gift of foresight. You don't have the gift of intuition. You're just doing whatever in the moment. Everything is just in the moment. You're doing what feels right now. I wanted to sleep with this person right now. That's what I felt, so I did it. I wanted to take something from this person. I wanted to do it right now, so I did it. Or whatever. You act impulsively, not thinking about how it will hurt the other one until it's too late. So again, to the betrayer, you have no say so in the process in which that person chooses to forgive you, accept you, or whatever. Because again, you're the reason that the situation is how it is. Okay, so keep that in mind. Y'all already know how I am over here. I want to spit some type of encouragement for the person that was betrayed. I'm sorry, it hurts. I've been there. And to the betrayer, not patting you on the back or anything, but if you're out here betraying people, let's do some self-healing and some just self-healing. You really need to, because I can almost guarantee you there's something within you. There's something within you that caused you to act in that way. Okay. So again, to my people who've been done wrong, y'all, it's not your fault. We have the choice. Okay. We really have choices here in life. And with that being said, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and close off here. But that's my daily dose of motivation for today. There are ways to get past that betrayal. There are ways to feel whole again. But first and foremost, y'all, from Shay's opinion, you're gonna have to go through God to get that, because the side effects of betrayal are too major. You could literally be pulled under, especially depending on the depth of the betrayal. Okay, all right, y'all. Now, if you didn't get a chance to hit the like button on the way in, cold heart, hit that baby on the way out. Y'all enjoy this wonderful, beautiful day that we are blessed to be alive to witness. I'm always complaining about how hot it is, but on the same token, I thank God that I'm able to be out here sweating in this hot heat. You know what I mean? So even in the things we find to complain about, y'all, you can still find sometimes a way to be thankful. Okay. So make sure you're doing that. It'll go better with you. It'll go better with your mindset as well. Okay. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Enjoy this day. Peace out.